Good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are. I hope it's a good day. I think the good day is the best way to say it, or should I say buenos dias, buongiorno, ça va, ça va khair, masal khair, yes. My name is Mabina, yes. Today we're going to speak about how I became a fitness coach or how I end up becoming a fitness coach. I think sometimes, people they need to know the reason why. The why you can see me being in fitness for 25 years. As a young man, grew up in the family of out of seven children. I'm the last in the house from the second marriage. So it's been, and one of the most beautiful thing I will tell you, I know somebody might think like you are crazy. How can you say that? All the painful moments I went through my life, I'm so glad I went through them because you wouldn't know me. As much as you're listening to me, you became a friend, we connected on Facebook. Maybe we wouldn't know each other. I wouldn't came in Dubai like Amanda. She's one of the person I met. She has, Amanda, we wouldn't be friends if all the things I went through in my life. Um, the challenges, I wouldn't be a trainer even in the first place if I did not go through all the process of the things I went through in life. I hope my story today is going to inspire you to find out and to see and life in a different perspective. I never thought I can be open as much as I could be, but I think it's very important. My story can help to build other people, the people who are dispersing or they're dispersed, they feel like life maybe is pushing pressure on them on the pinpoints, or they feel they're on the edge where now they're gonna fall, everything will collapse. Trust me, that's one of the best moments now. I would say arise and shine, because something good, if you look inside you, there might be somebody else who want to come out, or there might be somebody who want to speak something she never speak before. So as much as I tell you, I grew up in a family of seven, a young man who used to wake up between 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. At the age of 7, 8 already, I have a bucket on my head selling, what you call fat cakes on the street. I'm delivering my orders by 6:30 back, 7, 6:45. I'm back in the house. I've delivered already, as much as I could think of. And I'm start having my breakfast. I started doing all this stuff. And in the morning, I used to be that person. A lot of time, my dad will wake up at 4 a.m., which means when he's awake, what's gonna happen. I'm awake by that time. Yes, I know it might sound like maybe a little bit of a harsh, whatever. That's what I'm telling you, that what I'm going to share with you today, I'm happy that I went through it. I'm glad. Yeah, I know it might sound on some things. There's some things, yes, truly I did not like, but I could imagine if I never endure all these things, rejections I have, all these people who have pushed me on the side, who have put me down, would I ever inspire or have a desire to learn more? Would I ever have a desire to go and learn about mental health and psychiatry to understand things better the way I understand? Even I don't talk much about some of the things. And today, there's still individuals who still go through pain and they don't talk about it, and they don't know. Even it's like when we speak about some of the things, abuse, we hear things, but I thought I knew, but reading and going through my studies, was I was back in UK. But that's not the story. The story of how I became fitness coach is that I started around as a person who walk a lot, and grew up in a domestic, violence family. It changed the perspective of that moment of being a child. I started, a lot of times that when there's a fight, I would run quickly and start running outside. And that's when I started changing and doing all these things, running outside, and I started becoming stronger, because running is the only way I started becoming more stronger and bold. And it opened a new opportunity for me, running. And I started realizing I'm good. I became good in sports at school. I was doing discus and javelin. And the other thing I remember, they trying to put me on short put. As short as I was, you could imagine trying to throw like 5, 10 kg of weight, as tiny as I am. And I started, doing other project, and suddenly what I know, I became popular around the area. People, they start knowing me that I'm a fitness guy. I start playing football. I start doing some small coaching for primary schools. Even with the little knowledge I have, I start now coaching children. I start running coaching clinic. The next thing I know, next to my school, I started doing a project. It started with my neighbors. I took two ladies of my neighbors. They say, you are looking, ripped and so on and so on. You always work out. Why don't you train us? And I start, training them. And then the next thing I know, I start progressing. And then I was doing weights. I know how to eat. I know that this time I cannot eat this time. My mom, in fact, she's the one who have taught me a lot of things about diet. Moms, you are amazing. I'm not saying there are not, please. There are some amazing fathers out there, please trust me. I've seen some really loving, kind men out there. I mean, so I start doing that, and I start now being so active in fitness. And the next thing I know, I start, so aggressive in football, and I broke my leg other way around, not like my toes, they got broke, and I start hating football so much. I start running again, I start doing weights. The next thing I know, I was in university. I went into university, and I start now pushing so much in university. I start doing aerobic. I think I was the only guy out of 50 girls doing step touch, mambo, all this. The guys, they used to torment me. They used to pull my leg a lot, because you could imagine, out of 100 girls, 50 girls, you're the only man doing step touch, doing, like doing shoulder bridge. They used to make a lot of stupid, crazy things, and it used to be fun. But some of them, they end up even joining me, and today some of them, they are one of the best instructors back home in South Africa. And yeah, so, and the sad part, for me to become a fitness coach, it was a really, really hard time, because I left school because I could not afford the university. I have to drop out and look it out at other alternatives that I could not, and I wound up doing some computer courses, which was not of that much, but I was not a computer person. Fine, I passed all the qualification, but for me, it was not something I want to do. That's when poverty hits, you choose one of the lowest things in life just to pursue, to be out there. And I did it, but I realized that was not me. I'm not happy. This is not me who's meant to be in office and doing this. I'm a person who loves freedom. Like when I was selling on the street, having my bucket of tomato, selling on the street, going around, barefoot boy. It was one of those moments, and they have teach me how to be entrepreneur, because my mom as well have helped me to manage my business at that moment when I was having these ladies at school, and it grew so fast, and I became so popular. People from around maybe like 5-10 kilometers, they were coming to my classes, as tiny as I am, and I started taking it serious. But the problem is that now I went to school where now we are coming out of segregation, racism, and it was now that time I have to travel out of my area, where now it was becoming a challenge. And it's, even until today, sometimes I feel like, what the heck was I doing? But I'm happy, I told you, that I went through all these, being put on the side, and you find that you are in a class and people have to speak a foreign language that is excluding you. It makes you go and work 2 times. I remember there was a time I used to be so frustrated, and the maid will have to come and translate things for me. So the maid, they used to pay a lot of attention, or the ladies the housekeepers who work in the school, they used to pay a lot of attention to us African, or they will tell me, oh, there was this African guy, he came, he did this, whatever. So, there was few guys who used to go into this kind of sports, studying exercise science and so on, because even it was dominated by a lot of white folks, this market. And I start persuading it, and I start translating from Afrikaans, which is Holland. It's Holland, yes, it's Holland, Netherlands. So I translate the language. A lot of time, I was very, very hard for me to translate everything, and then that's why a lot of time when I was doing my assignment, I find myself failing. I remember I repeat 2 times to get my exercise science certificate, not because of I don't know the things, I knew them, But the problem is that every time I have to translate things from another language to English, yes, from Netherlands language to English, because the lectures, the professors who used to come a lot of time, they will just speak it them in Afrikaans to make complicate for us, So even in practical, I remember there was a time, but that's not the issue, So by the end of the day, it became something. And I remember this, in life you have to understand, you will meet bad people and good people. And I end up being in a place called Groenkloof in Pretoria, and this were the white folks ladies. These ladies, I promise you, they have pushed me to one of the best. The way that they were white folks, and I was going to meet them, and they were so polite and so nice. After all I've experienced from my college, or when I used to experience when I used to walk to college, because for me as a black man to walk in that street where I know anytime I can be stopped by a white person asking me what the heck I'm doing, yeah, because it used to be in the suburbs, the schools we never have there where you see only white people. It was so scary. Even coming and going, sometimes I was scared for my life. But seeing those white ladies encouraging me, pushing me, you can do it, Daniel. You can do this. And I realized, like, wow, these people who can see good in me, and they can, see, and I told them my dream, what I want to do, and they start pushing me and encouraging me. And this is the way how I start now being more persuasive about my career, and I started want to be more, and the UK dream as well. I started working so hard on it, and this has been something that I wanted to do many years. And my friends were thinking I'm crazy when I tell them that I want to go and live in UK. So it happened, but it happened through fitness, because without fitness coaching, maybe I wouldn't be where I am. I can guarantee you, it saved my life in the way I was disciplined on the street. I remember when two of my brothers were shot, can you imagine? I mean, you are what, 50 meters away, and the next thing you're being called and you have to come and, so these things, they broke me so much in place. And people even until today ask me, how did you come through this? The only way I know I managed to come through this is not through by myself, but the fact that I used to run, I used to do all these activities, used to play football, fitness was the only thing I know how to do it at the best level. And I used to spend a lot of time perfecting myself on it. And the frustration of that, I was studying so hard, trying to translate everything from another language to another language. If I don't understand, it was keeping me so occupied. And that's why now today I think compared to my peers or the guys I went to school, I can say I'm one of the top leading fitness expertise. They still do, but I think they teach, but not in such a depth that I decided to persuade fitness. So honestly speaking, I want to say to you, wherever you are, whatever's happening in your life, you don't have to stop, because out there's something for you. And every person have a destination, or I mean a journey to take, to say, not a destination. I mean, every person in this world have his own journey or her own journey. And if you don't want to go through this journey, who should go through this journey if you don't want to experience it? Because the only way we can experience to be who we want to be refined and become who we are, and be perfect, or be strong on where what we want to be, there's some kind of pain need to come into your life. I don't mean, there can be good pain and bad pain. It's like stress. There's a bad stress and good stress. I think life is always, there's a rain that you can stand as a human being. There's a rain that you can't stand, which can wipe the whole village. So, I mean, to cut things short, I just want to say to you, the things that I experienced in my entire life as a young man, being a gardener, working so hard, it have teach me that resilience. Running 10 kilometers to 15 kilometers almost every day, it have built me to be a very strong person. Mentally, physically, I managed to do that through all the experience of being pushed on the side, Being a boy who was so business orientated, selling things on the street. Yes, I grew up as a person who sell a lot on the street. I was like a salesperson. Anything I could think of, I could sell it. I've done construction. I've worked as tiling. I've done roofing. I've done glazing. I've any kind of job you could think of. I have done plumbing, anything, name anything you could think of. I've already done it. And I'm grateful for this. And these things I could imagine if I did not go through. Would I be a better man I am? So please, I'm not saying you should accept people to treat you bad or life should always hand you a heavy, hard way of learning things. But I'm just saying sometimes the hardest part or the hardest moment you're in life, they can create one of the best moments of your life and they can create the best person in your life. So for me, I know I went through those things, and then that's why I live in this country, or I've traveled the world. I wanted to travel the world, but the opportunity I got to travel the world is through fitness, and I'm still doing the same thing. And now I know that some friends of mine still keeping in touch with me the way I have progressed. So I hope my story, all these things of me, you hear as young as I was, used to run barefoot. Yeah, I used to run like 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers barefoot. I know, yeah, it might sound like what the heck. We African boys, we came from that run. That's why Masai, they can just crack it with barefoot. I have already done that, you know. Like with sandals, I used to run. You find it at the like small hole underneath. I'm going on it and I'm smacking it. Anyhow, I don't want to mean to bore you with all this, but the reason why I became as well fitness is through my family. When I see diabetes coming in, I got so scared because losing two uncles and two aunties with that, or seeing that in the family and hear the word diabetes, it freaked me out. Even I did not understand what the heck what it is, but it freaked me out when I hear that somebody's sick of these things. I don't understand what the heck it is, and I know that what can cause it, and I start have to work so hard. So also you, I just want to remind you, wherever you are, whatever you do, where you are, you have elevate yourself through pain or other things. So thank you very much for watching. And if you don't know why I'm doing fitness because it changed my life, not because of whatever. I know it can help you to elevate stress. It can help you to become a better mentor. It can help you to be a disciplined person. It can help you to be so consistent in so many things. And it can help you to be resilient, because it's been proven when you have more muscles in your body, is the more you can take a lot of stress, and then you can manage your stress more effectively. So I will say that if you know you are a super stressed person, you don't know how to handle, I will say try to do running. It helps. For me, that's the only way I save myself from all the challenge I have in life. I used to run a lot, and that's the only time I could forget so many things about, my pains, my struggles, if, all these things. So fitness, I said to you, if you got fitness in your life, even if things are not going the way they should be going, if you put on your cross trainers and run on the street, I promise you, you will be better. If you feel not okay, you go to the gym. I'm not saying it will make everything go away, but I know it can save you to do wrong decision, like the way we see men, women kill themselves, jump on the cliff, doing all these thoughts. So I know fitness, that some people, it saved their life, and even it saved their marriages today. So it can change so many things about you. If it managed to change my life and it have put me on this platform of knowing you where you are, I know it can do the same for you. I know it can change you. I know it can transform not just only your body, but it can transform your mind, how you feel, how you see things. So I will say, if you have not started, taking fitness into another level, this is a time where you can take fitness into another level and push it and see what happens. So for me, I know I'm just like a wretch who's been saved by it. Fitness have saved my life, and I'm a better man compared to where I was. The way how I think, the way how I behave, it have put a lot of self-discipline and self-commitment to myself. So I hope it will do the same for you, as much as you keep on persuading your journey. Thank you very much for watching and listening to my journey of becoming a fitness coach. Yes, I'm qualified in a lot of things, but that's not the thing. I was telling you my story of back in South Africa. How did I came here and be a trainer here? So I hope you're good and we'll catch up sometimes. Today, yes, it might not be one of the best, but I was telling you about the story of myself. So God bless you and see you in a bit. You take care. Thank you. Bye.